The memories of my childhood often flickered like old film reels, but one memory remained vivid and haunting, a dare that had echoed through the years. We were a group of close-knit friends, bound by the audacity of youth and a desire to prove our bravery. It all began with a dare to enter the abandoned, supposedly haunted mansion on the outskirts of our town, a mansion known as Blackthorn Manor. The dare had been our own version of a rite of passage, a challenge that we had exchanged in hushed whispers under the moonlight. As children, we had spun tales of the mansion's dark history, a place where unspeakable horrors had occurred, where the spirits of the tormented lingered. Now, years later, we found ourselves reunited at the doorstep of Blackthorn Manor, our faces etched with trepidation and nostalgia. Time had transformed us from fearless children into adults weighed down by the burdens of life, but the dare still held a potent allure. The mansion loomed before us, its towering, ivy-covered facade casting an eerie shadow in the dim moonlight. Windows were shattered, and the once grand entrance was now a crumbling, decrepit portal into the past. It seemed that the passage of time had only deepened the mansion's aura of malevolence. We stepped inside cautiously, our flashlights casting trembling beams of light that danced across the dusty, cobweb-covered furniture. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the silence of the mansion was broken only by the faint creaking of wood and the occasional scurrying of unseen creatures. As we explored the mansion's labyrinthine corridors, our memories of childhood dares and ghost stories filled the air like ghosts of the past. We laughed nervously, trying to shake off the feeling of unease that clung to us like a shroud. But as the night wore on, the mansion revealed its sinister secrets. We heard faint whispers in the dark, as if voices from the past were trying to communicate with us. Shadows danced in the corners of our vision, and the temperature dropped ominously. The atmosphere grew oppressive, and it became clear that we were not alone in the mansion. Our childhood dares had brought us face to face with the unknown, and the unknown seemed to be answering our challenge. In a dimly lit room, we discovered a series of old photographs, each one more disturbing than the last. The photographs depicted people in the throes of madness, their faces contorted in terror, their eyes vacant and haunted. It was as if the very walls of the mansion were bearing witness to the horrors that had taken place within its walls. As we continued to explore, we stumbled upon a room that sent shivers down our spines, a room filled with dolls, their eyes empty and soulless, their porcelain faces frozen in expressions of agony. It was a grotesque collection, as if the dolls themselves were trapped in a nightmarish limbo. But it was in the depths of the mansion's basement that we made the most horrifying discovery. Hidden behind a heavy, rotting door, we found a chamber filled with rusted chains and shackles, evidence of unspeakable cruelty that had taken place within the mansion's walls. As we stared in horror at the chains, we became aware of a presence in the room, an entity that seemed to radiate malevolence. It whispered in a voice that seemed to emanate from the very walls, recounting tales of suffering and torment. The entity claimed to be the spirits of those who had suffered within the mansion, their souls trapped in a nightmarish purgatory. They spoke of the mansion's dark history, a place where madness had reigned, and where the line between the living and the dead had blurred. With a growing sense of dread, we realized that our childhood dare had awakened the spirits that had long been imprisoned within Blackthorn Manor. They were angry, vengeful, and they demanded retribution for the torment they had endured. As the entity's whispers grew more insistent, we felt an overwhelming compulsion to leave the mansion, to escape the clutches of the vengeful spirits. But the mansion seemed to conspire against us, its doors and windows locked tight, trapping us within its malevolent embrace. We knew that we had to appease the spirits, to find a way to lay their tormented souls to rest. With trembling hands, we lit candles and began to conduct a makeshift séance, calling out to the spirits and begging for their forgiveness. The room grew cold, and the candles flickered ominously as we spoke. It was as if the spirits were answering our pleas, their presence enveloping us like a suffocating fog. They told us of their pain, their suffering, and their longing for release. As we continued the séance, the mansion itself seemed to respond, its walls vibrating with a ghostly energy. We felt a powerful force pulling us towards a hidden door, a door that had been concealed for centuries. With a final, desperate effort, we pushed open the door, revealing a hidden chamber within the mansion, a chamber filled with relics of the spirit's torment, objects that had been used to inflict pain and suffering. In the center of the chamber, we found a decrepit, ornate mirror, its surface cracked and tarnished. As we gazed into the mirror, we felt a surge of malevolent energy, a force that threatened to consume us. But with the spirit's guidance, we shattered the mirror, breaking the curse that had bound them to the mansion for centuries. As the shards fell to the ground, the mansion seemed to sigh in relief, its oppressive aura lifting. We fled from Blackthorn Manor, our hearts pounding and our minds reeling from the horrors we had witnessed. The spirits of the mansion were finally free, their torment at an end, and we had played a part in their release. As we left the mansion behind, we knew that our childhood dares had brought us face to face with the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. We had survived the reckoning at Blackthorn Manor, but the memories of that fateful night would forever haunt our dreams, a chilling reminder of the price we had paid for our youthful audacity.